Thornhill sexuality educator, and today I am in Ottawa, and I am at Kind Space Ottawa. These are my friends. This is Carling, and this is Kaden. Do you want to tell us what do you do here and what's going on?
Yeah, hi. Hello, my name is Carling. I use the pronouns she and her, and I'm the executive director at Kind. It is a LGBTQ plus community space that's by and for. So that means it's run by queer and trans people for queer and trans people. We do a whole bunch of things, including discussion groups, events. We do educational stuff. We do counseling, and just sort of like a whole wide range of things.
Hi, my name's Kaden. I use they, them, or he pronouns, and I'm a co-op student here at Kind.
What would you say is like the best thing about co-oping here? Is that a word, co-oping?
Like it could be. I think it's just like a really awesome environment to work in, and all the people are really cool, and I get to do a lot of cool projects.
I just realized as you two are talking that in all my time doing YouTube videos, I've actually never talked about my own pronouns. So I use she and her pronouns. Now you know. We actually want to talk about gender neutral and gender inclusive language, and specifically using gender neutral language or gender inclusive language in our families, and why that can be important, and also why it's beneficial. And then we're actually going to give you some gender inclusive terms that you can take home and start using at home with your kids and your tweens and your teens. I'm going to throw it over to you because y'all are the experts here. So how would you define gender neutral language or gender inclusive language?
It's just sort of like making space for all different kinds of identities.
What would you see as being like benefits to using gendered inclusive language specifically in families, and maybe specifically in families where there are, you know, children or younger people? Because I think sometimes there's this idea that, oh, well, gender inclusivity, that's an adult issue, and that's an adult experience. So why might we want to start doing that with our kids and in our homes using gender inclusive language?
First of all, if you have really young kids, then you don't necessarily know that they are cis or how they identify, and you don't know how the people around them identify. So if they're having friends over, you probably don't know necessarily what the gender identity of their friends is or their peers at school. And it's also just really important to expose people to that kind of language, because people are learning language as kids. So it makes sense to learn the language that's going to be useful and most beneficial throughout their lives. So we want to make sure that our kids are also able to be respectful of other people, and to use gender inclusive language when it's appropriate. And that's how kids learn language, is by listening to people around them.
We're going to talk about specific gender inclusive or gender neutral terms that you can use with your family, and most of these are going to be words either describing relationships or people in the family. I'm basically just gonna, throw out the gendered term, and then y'all can tell us what the gender neutral or gender inclusive term would be. First one, mom or dad?
Parents.
Yeah, that's the one I would use. Just your parents.
I've also heard Maddie is like a mix of mom and dad.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maddie or Maudie. There was also one that was Muddy. For mom.
For mom, the mom with the U. I feel like that's very
Yeah.
British. So the converse of mom or dad would be son or daughter.
There's a lot for that one. I think the obvious one's child.
Right.
My mom will refer to me as her teen.
Are there words that you might use, because sometimes also child has the connotation of someone very young, and so teen makes more sense if you have an older kid or a teen at home. Are there words that you might use, for example, if you were talking about an adult child?
I've heard some people suggest if you're talking about let's say you have two kids, you could talk about your oldest.
Okay.
To refer to a specific kid.
Okay. Well, I'm the only one, but I guess if my mom was referring to me, she could also say my 41-year-old. Boyfriend or girlfriend?
Again, there's a few different ones. Partner, date mate,
lover.
Nice. I like date mate. I like terms that rhyme. Husband or wife?
Again, you can use partner.
Yeah.
Significant other.
Niece or nephew?
Enabling.
I have all nieces, so it hasn't come up a lot in my personal context. So ridiculous to say, but it hadn't occurred to me really until very recently. It's well, they're a sibling.
Yeah.
For, the other children of your parents. I'm like, okay, nibbling, I get it.
There's also pibbling, too.
Oh,
But that would be for like aunt and uncle.
so the gender neutral term for aunt and
Okay.
uncle is pibbling.
Yeah, pibbling.
That was
Okay.
Parent sibling.
Oh, okay, I get it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about title. We have the gendered titles like Ms., Mrs., Mr. So what would be like the gender neutral or equivalent or gender inclusive?
most common one is mix, like MX.
Okay.
Usually if there's like options on forms, I either like to go with like doctor, a professor,
Yeah.
Nice.
Your Highness also works.
Ooh.
Majesty. You know, you can mix it up like that.
Right. We started off the beginning talking a bit about pronouns. So we have gendered pronouns. So she, he, her, him, his, and but there are also gender neutral or gender inclusive pronouns.
Probably the most common one would be they them pronouns. So like they went to the store and bought their mom a shoe.
And can we clear this up right now? It is grammatically correct to refer to a single person as they. We actually do it all the time. That's not a new thing in our language. Like, if we are just referring to a generic person, like, there they go. What are some other gender neutral pronouns? that folks use?
There's a lot of different ones. Z, zir, or z here is pretty common.
There's also like tons of other pronouns in like different languages, so it's also really contextual, sort of what your cultural background is, language background. So there's like different terms in French.
Al?
Yeah, like OL.
I've
I've also heard of like il, but like with an E.
okay.
Like ILE or like
ILE,
different
okay.
variations of that, but those are like a little bit harder to tell when you're
speaking. Right, okay. We're learning different languages. All right, so thank you to Carling and Caden. Thank you for talking to us about gender inclusive language and teaching me some like awesome terms in French and English. I will have information about Kind down in the description box below. If you're in Ottawa, you should definitely come and hang out here. This is like a super rad space. And Carling is also on Instagram, and you play the guitar, yes?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put I'll put your Instagram info down in the description box below also. So that's all. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye. That's it for today. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. Oh my God. I just said see you guys. What are you doing, Nadine? All right. I'm filming this outro again because I used the gender term to sign off. What am I doing? Irony, jeez.